And welcome to Connecting Mamas. We want to talk a little bit about one of the other circles. We're actually in where we usually do in Zoom. We do it in this kind of element where we're in a circle, really participating and really getting to share who we are. And today's principle we're talking about is number 4, which is listening with discernment instead of judgment. What we do when we're in circle, part of the principles of it is that we don't respond to each other. It's all about just listening so that we're allows us to open the heart and knowing that what we're going to do afterwards is simply share our heart with them and being love at them for their share. And we're not here to judge each other. We're here to listen and to be open to who each of us are. So it's not about us fixing each other. It's about being seen and heard and witnessed. And so we're going to go through a mini circle today. I'm going to ask Melanie, we're going to go around the circle like we would in a normal one. Can you stitch in for us, Melanie?
Absolutely. And I just realized that my name has an S instead of Soloway. And because we're in this, I can't change it. So it's Melanie Soloway, and I am stitching in from Los Angeles, California. And I am stitching in today with love and appreciation, and I'm relighting my candle.
Alicia, would you like to stitch in?
I'm Alicia Lyons, and I am stitching in from Fresno, California, with movement.
I love it.
I'm Abigail Price, stitching in from Henderson. I'm relighting my candle, and I'm stitching in with Thanksgiving.
And I'm Michelle, stitching in from Franklin, Wisconsin, stitching in with connection and belonging. And again, when we stitch in, we're just saying we're cementing us almost like a quilt, connecting us together. So we're saying where we're coming from and where we're coming in with, whatever might be our intention for the circle, or just maybe how we're feeling this day, whatever you need to bring it. And now we've kind of connected together. And a lot of times we'll go through a meditation or something at this point to reflect on, but we're going to do this a little bit shorter as the short version. One of the things that came in from the circle that we just completed was this idea of collecting evidence. And what does that mean? What it means really is, I've been using this metaphor and we're going to use it some more, is think of yourself inside a pickle jar. All those thoughts, all those things with little pickles wobbling around, those are all the things that you're inside your head. And the only thing you can see is that back label. And a lot of times that back label has all the negative thoughts and emotions and everything we're feeling. We just keep reading that over and over. And then Melanie would like to lend me her glasses so I can read the front label, because on the front is really all the things that others are seeing, the beauty and the possibilities of who we are that sometimes we just can't see. And Circle helps us reinforce being able to see that front label. So we were talking about the idea of how do we collect evidence for us to be able to read that free label, that positive label on the front of our pickle jar. And so I'm just going to open that up to different ideas or whatever comes to their minds as we're talking about this idea of collecting the evidence that really shows who we truly are, not that inside label. So I'll just open the floor up.
So I'm going to jump in, Mish, just because I took my glasses off to give to you. And imagine if you could replace your glasses with my glasses to see through my lenses what I see in you. When you have people that are qualified to give you the feedback, who can see you for the beauty that you are. And one of the things that my coach, and Alicia and I have the same coach, has taught me is that negative labels are not necessarily negative. They're just protective. They're protective. They're protecting us from past things that have happened and then the stories that we tell around them. And so if we can look at what are we protecting ourselves from, and start to let go. I mean, Alicia said some incredible things and reminded me of some incredible things this morning during our circle. It was an incredibly powerful circle. The meditation was incredible. The shares were incredible. It was so heartfelt. But one of the things that Alicia reminded me of was, to really look at any feedback, to not look at myself and whether or not, and she said, if I'm a good mom or a bad mom. And for me, it would be, am I a terrible mom or am I a great mom? It's not about that label. It's about, just look at people and say, thank you for your feedback. Your opinion of me does not determine my value, because my value is, and I'm reading this because it's what I'm quoting Alicia, My value is finite and infinite, and it doesn't go up or down. And so really that was something that I needed to hear from me today. And again, I think that it's, it's not about people not having judgments about us, but it's also being discerning. Oh, I love the little hearts going up. Thanks, Mish, for that balloon of hearts. Being discerning about whose glasses do we want to borrow. If we're going to borrow somebody else's glasses, to be discerning, because there will be judgment. Judgment is, we're human beings. We're in a world of judgment, more so now than we've ever been with the internet and, social media. And it's, so just to be discerning about it. Anyway, I could go on and on. I'm complete for now. And I would love to hear from Alicia and Abigail. And thank you. So now they're beaming me with love, and I'm accepting this love that's being beamed at me. I appreciate it. I'm complete. I love you guys. Thank you.
I will jump in because I think that we think that we're afraid of other people's judgment. But in reality, the only person's judgment that we actually have access to is our own. Because if I was to tell you that you have the ugliest purple hair that I've ever seen, and your hair is blonde, that insult, that opinion, that judgment isn't going to touch you because you don't have purple hair. But if I say that your blonde hair is really ugly, that might touch you a little bit more because you do have blonde hair. And now you start to wonder, is my blonde hair really ugly? Am I a terrible mom because this person said so? So when we need to root ourselves in what is the truth and what we believe about ourselves is not always the truth, and it needs to be investigated. And we need to question some of our head talk. And I am complete.
Elise, you want to receive our beaming. You're swatting it away. Receive it, baby. We're filling your cup.
I'm receiving. You can't see my hand.
All I saw was your hand doing this.
That was a fly.
Oh, the fly wanted some
It's
love
always
too.
filling that cup and pouring from that overflow. So filling it up, and if you drop it, that's okay because we got your back. We're gonna fill it up some more. Would you like
That's
to share
right.
anything, Abigail?
I just want to say this is the second time. It's like you drop the cup. It's just like we swatting the love. I love you ladies so much. Okay, so now I was sitting here thinking some things that actually came out of Alicia's mouth. Um, but it's the same um discernment, not judgment. And a lot of times what other people say to us are things that we've been thinking, and that's why it hits, and that's why we take it. And I believe what we are doing in here is helping us connect to those lies that we believe, to learn that they are actually lies and begin to use those lies to come up out of the hole that we've built ourselves in. Because we are the ones that have put ourselves in that hole by the lies from wherever they came. And usually they come from something from the outside that we take in and believe. And so being able to have someone help us see the things that we can't see. I liken it to when you turn on a computer and there's writing and you see the things backward and you don't know that other people aren't seeing the same things that you're seeing. That happened to us one time in Circle. I'm showing you something and I'm like, oh, it's backwards. And Melanie is saying, no, it's not backwards. I'm like, what are you talking about? I see it backwards. We are believing the lie because we're looking through the wrong lenses. And so circle helps us not do that. And I am complete because we have to go. Thank you, ladies.
I feel the more we actually listen to each other without figuring out what we're going to say next, that's part of the listening with discernment, is you learn to do that with your kids too. And you realize that they're actually saying more than you're giving them a chance to, because your judgment comes in place sooner if you allow it to. When you pull it back and you just sit there to listen without any intent of what your response is going to be. Sometimes it's your response you're having in your mind. You're worried that you're going to say something wrong, and that judgment comes in place. So the same thing goes with ourselves, is when we're giving our self judgment. It's really looking for that evidence. And I really want to do some sort of activity where we talk about Melanie's idea of soul mapping and finding evidence of what is the truth, what is who we really are. And the more we start to have these conversations and doing it together and seeing what's up inside of here and actually listening, not just saying, oh, my turn, that's when we start to really see that evidence and start to take note of it and stock. And I know I'm going to go away with the rest of my day feeling so much more full by having these deep conversations and trying to uncover some of the layers and the negative and reframing all of it. And I want to just leave with this idea of one of the things I learned from my coaching program that I got certified in last week. And I want to celebrate that a little bit too, because we don't always celebrate ourselves enough. We have 11 million bits of pieces coming into our subconscious at any given point. Our conscious mind is only taking 134 toothpicks of that at any point. Now, the more we clean up the negative talk, it could pull all the negative things in there, or it could pull in all the positive in that 134. But it depends, and it depends on what filters or what you're saying and what you're breathing. Because as we were talking about, it wasn't necessarily that it matters what other people are saying about you. It matters what you perceive and you take into what others are saying. Because as Alicia said, if you don't have purple hair, it's not going to affect you. It's only going to affect you by what weight you put on it. And so it only matters with that. And I know Melanie wants to say one thing, but we're out of time today, Melanie. And so on the stitch out, you can do it, but we're going to stitch out because we're a little bit over time today. And I want to make sure that we have that chance. So come join us in circle. Melanie, stitch us out.
I'm
wait,
gonna
I didn't
say-
get a receive. I didn't get a receive. I'm complete.
Woo.
Woo. See,
Woo.
we can never rush it too much.
Woo.
We always have to slow down a little bit and have these reminders that we put in place for ourselves. And thank you, ladies.
So my name is Melanie Soloway, and I'm stitching out from Los Angeles, California, and I am stitching out with feeling incomplete because I have more that I want to say. I love how I crack Abigail up and she throws her head back laughing. See, she's giving me this lens that I'm actually funny.
I'm Alicia Lyons. I'm stitching out from Fresno, California, and I am stitching out with grace.
I am Abigail Price, stitching out from Henderson, Nevada. My candle is lit. When I turned my thing off, I had to light a tissue in order to light my candle because it's down there. And I just wanted to share that with you all.
And I'm Michelle, stitching out from Franklin, Wisconsin, feeling in a sense of ready to listen for the rest of the day and really be open to what others have to say and really working on my filters of what I'm going to intake with that. And I just want to leave all of you with the idea of learning the principles. And I want to see more circles, whether you join our circle or you create your own. I just want to see more people in deep conversation on peeling the layers to see that true genius that is inside of you and sharing that into the world with this sun coming out from you. And with that, goodbye, everyone.